Hi guys, welcome back. Your girl lost track of time today, so I've only got until 5, so we're gonna keep this one a little short. But it's pretty, one of those topics that just needs to be short and sweet anyway, to kind of just nail in. So I wrote a little notey notes for you. Okay. Okay, so your higher self and your lower self. We talk about a lot about how everything is based off of the concept of duality, and we are always given two choices, and that is why we have the gift of free will when a lot of other animals and species on this planet don't have that gift. We are given that gift. We are given the gift to choose. Now, we've talked about in previous episodes a lot of different things that you can choose with that free will, like what that means. Today I want to talk about that free will and when it comes to emotions, because they're your higher self and your lower self. Your higher self is the self that responds from wisdom. Your higher self is your higher vibrational way of being, your higher vibrational frequency. Now, you have still potential to have lower self vibrational frequencies, which is that of embodying emotion, embodying the lower vibrational emotions. So, when you're experiencing lower vibrational emotions, fear, guilt, shame, just lower of those lower vibrational emotions, we then need to allow either our higher self to respond or the lower self, which is the one who becomes tethered and embodies the lower frequency emotions. It doesn't go away. You know what I mean? We're always going to be presented the two options. Always. Forever. So, are you going to respond from your higher self, higher vibrational self, or your lower vibrational self? It is a choice. How can you respond from your higher vibrational self and not succumb to the embodiment of those lower vibrational frequencies of self? Now, that I think plays a lot into self-validation. It's crazy how that kind of comes full circle, because I was talking about that today with somebody, but and that wasn't my original intention with this topic, but now it's coming to that, because I'm seeing in myself personally what helps me choose the higher road, basically. Here's an example. Sometimes my boyfriend gets cat zoomies, especially at night when I'm not feeling that. Sorry. It's just funny because it's nothing wrong. It's not bad. I'm not whatever. But particularly last night, he's just, he had the zoomies and I wasn't entertaining the zoomies enough or something. And you could just tell because I grew up with brothers. So I know that this is just something that happens sometimes. They're not being assholes. They're just I don't know. They're just bored. And so I kept I'm making lunch. I'm doing stuff for tomorrow before we go to bed. And he was helping me. But he was just standing there and he kept jabbing at me, little jabs, I dropped a bunch of stuff, I was trying to put it in a Ziploc bag and it fell everywhere, and I was not now, it's 10 p.m., and he goes, yeah, why'd you do that? Yeah, why'd you do that? And it was shit like that, and lower vibrational self would have been, yo, back the F off, bro. What do you do? Just responding in that lower vibrational way. But instead, what I did was I validated myself in that moment. I said to myself in my head, I know this is annoying as shit right now. But he doesn't mean to be annoying. Like I know him at this point, you know? He's just like having fun. But I'm tired because I had a really long, like packed day. So maybe I would have been more fun with it if I had more energy, right? So I tell myself this. I validate the anger I'm feeling by saying like, yeah, you had a long day. You did a lot. You accomplished a lot today. You deserve to be tired. You also deserve to be feeling frustrated or just like annoyed right now. You're allowed. And I'm like telling myself this. I'm like, you're allowed. That's a very annoying situation, you know? But that's your experience. Like, this is your day. Like, he didn't have that day. Now he worked all day sitting in an office alone. Now he's home. He wants to, and that's fine. So I'm validating my experience that yes, this is annoying. This is frustrating. However, I'm introducing myself to the logic of perspective and reminding myself, just because this is your experience doesn't mean that's what like he's going through or that he's even thinking about, because he doesn't know your experience. So within that moment, having that little inner self conversation of being like, yeah, girl, this is annoying, but like it's only because you're tired. Like, you love him, you know? Like, he's not being an asshole. So I was then able to turn around and say from a place of calm, clear water with no passive aggressiveness in my voice whatsoever. And I just said, are you trying to help me or antagonize me? Because I really just like need the help with the carrots right now. And he goes, oh, like I didn't, right, because he didn't realize that he was off task, and he didn't, you know, he didn't see the full picture, right? So being able to respond from a place of self-validation, I was able to validate that annoyance, that anger, that like, dude, I don't need this right now, but without causing the embodiment of those emotions. That's where the self-validation came in, because then I'm not embodying it and then turning around and saying, get the fuck out of the kitchen. Like, we don't need that. Because when we do that, now it's a fight, and it doesn't need to be. So that goes into a lot of self-validation. Like, if you're feeling annoyed, hey girl, I see you're feeling annoyed. You have every right to be annoyed. This is a very annoying situation. However, it's only annoying to you because of your specific circumstances, your experiences with life, and the way your brain is developed. So let's not ruin everybody else's time. Just remove myself from the situation. Or sometimes the self-validation is enough for me to just be able to relax now and just be like, yeah, this isn't really my vibe, but I'm here to support friends, so I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna get out of my own way, return to that higher vibrational frequency of like the point that I'm even here, and be that support for my friends. But I'm not gonna pretend that everything's okay. But I'm also not gonna fake being okay, and I also am not going to embody those emotions and create a problem. So how do you still respond from a place of authenticity? Self-validation. Yeah, girl, this is annoying and boring. How about we just stick it out for a couple more maybe a half hour more. We make sure we support who we came here to support, whatever the situation is, and then yeah, we'll get going. That's why I bring my own car everywhere I go. I don't really carpool. I mean, like, maybe if, like, we're going to a Rumble Ponies game, because then that'd be cool to pay for parking for only one car. I don't usually think like that because I like my escape routes. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just drive on our own. But this year we're going to change that. I don't think I want to pay for parking that much. But other than that, yeah, that's what that looks like. Like, it's you and you agreeing the shit's messed up. It's you and you, like, you know, like, it's like that best friend that gets you the most. Because who is more qualified to feed yourself what you need than you. Like, no, you're the most qualified in that department. So you know what you need to hear right now. So tell yourself that. Like, say it. Like, yeah, dude, this sucks. But, like, let's get pizza about it. Like, right? And then it's like, you don't feel alone. You don't feel like you're unseen. You don't feel like, these emotions, you're not suppressing these emotions either. You're playing with them. You're having fun with them. You're accepting them. Because the first stage to changing an emotion is by accepting the one that you're currently in. So you got to accept the emotion you're in, but how do you accept the emotion you're in without someone else telling you, you deserve to be in that emotion right now. You deserve to feel that emotion right now. Because then when you hear that, you feel it and it passes. So we cannot wait for others to give us that gift. Because honestly, we're very unique people. So it's going to be seldom and far between that you meet somebody that sees life the way you do. I'm blessed. I have that. That's awesome. So like, if I'm ever feeling like cloudy in judgment, throw a text out. You know what I'm saying? But that, I didn't have that for years. So I've learned to become my own best friend in that situation, because what makes a work day lighter than working with a person who also agrees that the management sucks? Right? That's just like an example. But doesn't that always feel better? When you both agree, like, yeah, shit's fucked up around here, man. Like, yeah. And then and then it doesn't matter anymore. You're like, yeah, that's fine. Like, devil's playground. Like, I don't know how to explain it. So why are we waiting for that? Like, of course we all want to meet and have connections like that. That's like the goal. But we can't wait around. You got to practice validating yourself, because then you'll eventually end up meeting. You'll put yourself in the right room to meeting these people that are going to align with your authenticity. And it's so great. It's so great. But you cannot wait around for that, because you need this specific healing to get your vibrational frequency into a place that attracts these people. So you got to constantly keep fighting for that higher self response through that self-validation until you can find, and still, even once you make those connections, it's still important to be able to have that skill. Because, like, on the spot, if someone's not around me right now, I can just be like, yeah, girl, that was fucked up. But, like, it's all right, because next time we're just going to do this. It's fine. And just hearing that is enough for me. Like, and we need to talk to ourselves more. Like, if something's hard for me because of my mental health, like, I'll be like, I see you're not really nervous about this, and that's okay. That's okay, girl. Like, it's infuriating you because you're getting anxious, and when you're anxious, to cover up your emotions, you go to anger. I know you, girl. I know you. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna say, I see you're getting sad. They'll be like, I'm not sad. No, you're getting sad, because that's why you're getting mad. So what are you sad about? And then I just feel like, Then I have that moment in my head, and then I listen, and I go, I understand why that would feel that way. I also would feel that way. I know it's me, but like, whatever. And I'm like, and that's okay. So what are we going to do next time so that we don't kind of find ourselves in a position of feeling like that feeling of maybe taken advantage of, or overlooked, or not validated and seen, or misunderstood? I think that's mine. That one, I'm fighting a losing battle with that one, though, because most people don't understand me, so I'm just going to let that one go, and I have to constantly tell myself that, like, yeah, maybe you're a little hard to understand, and that's okay, because the right people will understand you, because they are committed to learning how to understand you, and that's okay. So maybe I won't put myself in that situation again, and it's like an allowance to feel what you want, what you're supposed to feel, which is like beyond necessary. It's more for that, and the allowance to grow with it. Like, you're allowing yourself to grow past it rather than embody that lower vibrational frequency and just be mad. Like, get in there. Get in there. What's going on with you, you know? So we have this choice, and the self-validation helps so much because I've noticed personally, if I don't do that process with myself, I will embody that low vibrational energy, that low vibrational frequency. And then I mostly don't say at that point because I don't trust myself in lower vibrational frequencies because that's like, I don't want to be there again. I'm not. I'd rather choose the higher self. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to embody those emotions ever again. They honestly didn't do me any justice before. If anything, it just caused more pain and more suffering back upon me, embodying those lower vibrational frequencies and then responding to it in that way. Even if it wasn't something that was spoken, maybe I suppressed it, and then when it does come out and I embody those lower vibrational frequencies, that's a person, when that version of myself comes out, it doesn't agree with my meat suit, like the vessel. Like I don't understand the whole thing. I'll ponder on it more tonight and maybe elaborate tomorrow. But like, there's this thing, like if I embody that, I'll get fever blisters. They look like cold sores, but they're not. I've recently found this out. And I also get itchy bump rashes and things like that because that is the embodiment of a low vibrational frequency that is not who I am. So when you enter something into your meat suit that is not who you are and allow it to take the driver's wheel, your car starts falling apart. Because it's drifting, it's fishtailing everywhere. Like it drives without conscientiousness, without mindfulness, without intention. It just So your car's gonna start to break, and that's like our bodies. Our bodies are the vessels. You cannot allow a demon spirit into your body. Anyway, I thought that was me authentically responding in that way, but that was me making the choice to embody lower vibrational frequencies. I can still be presented with the same challenge and choose the higher vibrational response rather than the embodiment of lower vibrational energy. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of cool. So the authentic self is the chooser. That's the authenticity. Are these emotions real and authentic? Yes. Are they meant to be embodied? No. So the authentic person is the chooser, is the free will choice maker. It's not you in these are the response choices, but that's not who you are authentically. Who you are authentically is the person who can observe these two options and choose one that aligns with who they are authentically. Boom, baby. Boom. And I got confused with that for a while. I got wrapped up because I was like, oh shit, am I not being authentic? Because I'm feeling this anger emotion, but I'm not defending myself. I'm not letting them know, you don't effing talk to me like that. You know who you're talking to. Like, I don't need all that in my life. Instead, excuse me, I think we got off onto the wrong foot. I think you mistook me for somebody who appreciates language that way, and I'm not. So let's start over with that basis being known. I am not one to respond well to passive-aggressive tonality or any other unfavorable tone. If you'd like to continue this conversation with me, I'd love to, but we need to do it from this level here, I'd appreciate if you can meet me here and compromise with me on that, and then I can understand you better. Boom, baby! Old me would have been like, nope! Nope! Let me light a cigarette about it. Do you know? You know you got it. And that comes from self-validation. Because when I validate myself, I don't embody any of the emotion. Instead, I'm just kind of like, all right. Now I get to choose from a place of clarity and a place of authenticity. Because clarity and calmness, the placid lake, is you, the observer, the choice maker. All right, that's it. 20 minutes for you today. We'll elaborate more tomorrow. All right, have a good day.